Everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here at Shira David, Baruch Hashem. And today we're going to continue our Sefira project, Usfrat Mlachem, and then of course we're going to learn Likutey Halachos. That's the main thing of our class. And today today is Hayoim Arba Osa Yoim Shehem Shnei Shavuos La'omer. Right, today is the 14th day, 2 weeks to the Omer, and today is Malchus Shebegvura. Wow, exciting! Malchus Shebegvura. Right, we're finishing the week. This week we finished now. We finished the week and we're going to start the Mitzvah Shem tonight, the week of Tferes. Right, we're moving along. Right, so what does the Rebbe say today? Aleph. Yitein ha'adam elibai. Again, it's this whole week he's putting the same thing. Yitein ha'adam elibai. Place it in your heart. I don't want you to, this information we're talking about now, it's not for your mind, it's for your heart. Interesting, right? It's an interesting thing, right? If you ever want to be successful in subduing, right, to overpower and subdue the Yetzer Hara, you have to be like, you have to rule with authority. Shora is authority. You have to rule with authority, like a king rules over his government. The way he runs his government, that's the way. Gomer, you say, completely on the Yetzer Hara. You have to mamish take control of the Yetzer Hara. This is the Malchus Shebegvura, right? So be the melech over the Yetzer Hara. Be the melech over the Yetzer Hara. Rule him. He's going to explain nice. Okay, Ad Sheyatu. Lios nichna tachas ke'evet tachas rabboina. Right? In other words, until that he will be the Yetzer Hara will be subdued under the control, under your control, like a slave under the control of his master. Unbelievable. Zois yasik b'gvura tekifa, but that you can only get with a powerful. You need a very powerful gevura. You have to be you have to use the midah of gevura to be very powerful of this. L'loi v'yitar. What? Vitar. Ufarsa klal. Right? You can't surrender. Don't surrender. Don't give in. Don't give in to him at all. He wants you to give in. He wants you little bits. He ekes a little bit at this, but we have to be very, very strong. And then it's nice, I think, to read this today, the Sefer Omer Tenufa that he brings all the time in this Sefer. He brings from another Sefer, these wonderful words. So let's see what he says now. Right? Malchusay b'chol mashallah. Hakadosh Baruch is Malchus b'chol mashallah. Unbelievable. Al derech sharizal shamar Razal b'Medrash Rabbah. As Chazal teach us in Medrash Rabbah that what shemamlich Yetzer hatoiv al Yetzer Hara. The Medrash Rabbah says that you should make your Yetzer Tov the king over the Yetzer Hara. Right, the Tanya speaks a lot about that. Right, that's the first chapter in Tanya. Right, and also the Tanya is always to be mamlech the Yetzer Hara over the Yetzer Tov.
What did it say in the beginning part? I don't know if you translated that.
What
did you?
The
very sentence where the break is in the book. Right.
Where the break?
No, down. Right, the first line there. Yeah. Did you translate that? It didn't seem like you did. I don't know.
Umalchusay b'chol mashallah zeh yoreh lanu b'midas malchus shebegvura. And the Hakadosh Baruch has dominion and control over everything. He runs everything. Okay, I'm sorry if I didn't say it. Okay, all right. Anyway, now Hamelech. Okay, now he says okay. V'chein hu b'Medrash Rabbah Kehelas. He brings from Medrash Rabbah Kehelas. Hamelech Yetzer hatoiv al Yetzer Hara. Again, the same idea, the same thing, that the king, you make the Yetzer Tov over the Yetzer Hara, v'kavanasam, loimer, shekol kach yargul adam es atzmai, lizgaber al Yetzer Hara, ad sheyeh Yetzer Tov lemelech olav. Vanquish him so much, fight him so much, that until he feels that he's under your control. You're really controlling him. Ki kemay she'amelech oisik kol ritzay nevecheftzay be'ein meicha ba'olam. I know it's the same way the king does anything, and he doesn't give it. He's very stubborn in what he does. He doesn't give in to anything. The king wants what he wants, and that's how he runs. Kocha yia adam oisik b'tayv masim tayv b'rotzen tayv. So too study Torah, serve Hashem with that way, like a king. Like a king wants what he wants and he does it, so too that's the way we should serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu in that way and not worry about all the other stuff. Because I'm the king and this is what I have to do. B'chol levavai v'nafshay, with your whole heart and all your soul. Ki'ilu lo yahaya shum meinei, as if there's nothing at all preventing you. Because there really is nothing preventing us. It's all again the kayach hadimyan, the imagination that causes us to believe that there's this, that, and the other thing that's in our way. But really, we're supposed to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's the real thing. And if you can do this, you'll be matzliach, you'll be successful in all your ways. Unbelievable, right? All of our ways of serving Hashem, all the ways of our limud HaTorah will be successful in. But if you're going to serve Hashem with a weakening, you're not going to be so steadfast with your service of Hashem. Then there'll be you have things preventing you. You'll have this will bother you and that'll bother you, right? The trick is that you have to be like a melech, malchus shebur. You have to be like a melech. And you have to be very, very strong. Okay, ki avodah say shleima, that the avodah has to be complete. Avur ki adayin hayetzer hara haylech bikir by lefamav. The Yetzer Hara he's there and he tries to flare up each time, right? He's not happy. He's not happy to be under your control, right? He says, "I want to be free. I want to be the king." So he flares up. Ve'nei nikra neman ruach kitam. Nishaya, right? V'tiki asav yated b'makam neman. How do you say that? What's that?
You have to stick a tent peg into a faithful place.
Into a faithful place.
What?
A tent peg. When you slam a tent peg in, you don't put it in weak. You put it in a real
like a tent peg. When you put a stake in, maybe like a stake in the ground.
Yeah.
A stake in the ground. You stick the stake in. You stick it in really deep. Or else
I'm thinking about hammering a stake into the Yetzer Hara.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It's like
Yael with what's his name? Right? That Roman centurion.
Yeah. V'zeh b'etzem yoyre lanu midas malchus shebegvura lo'oris ki hagvura yiskaber al yitzroi yiyah al yedei midas malchus. So how are you gonna be able to overcome the Yetzer Hara? You need to use the idea of the malchus shebegvur. You need to use the malchus. Ritzayni loimer shekol kach yargul b'chol midas hakedoshas and his koraks. In other words, this is what you have to do with anything with kedusha. You have to approach it in this way that you don't give in at all to the other side. It's all. He says here, I think it's all or none now. You have to give it mamish your all. Ad sheyeh Yetzer Hara lemelech la'asais hakol meritzayin libay hatoiv v'tishukais hanefesh kamer. Right, a Yetzer Tov will be the melech la'asais hakol meritzayin, from what the Yetzer Tov, what he wants to do. Libay with the heart hatoiv. Chukais hanefesh, and the chukah, the yearning, the desire of the heart. V'zeh midas malchus shebegvura, l'irish hagvura shel Yetzer Hara tia al yedei midas malchus, al yedei zeh yigroim ki malchusai yizbarach b'chol hamidas mashallah. And then it's amazing, such a beautiful idea. I mean, it's so empowering to understand what the things that we can do. We have the ability to do this. We could mamish set our minds that we are going to be the king over this Yetzer Hara. We're going to use the malchus, and then we can mamish be miskaber and win each time. Unbelievable. Hashem should help us to be able to mamish do this, right?
Amen.
Oh, wow. Lekabel mehem lashpia lon okay kamar Hashem b'shemayim heichin kisei malchusei b'chol mashallah. Hashem set up his residence in Shemayim heichin kisei malchusei, but he placed his footstool, I guess, something like that, down in this world. But Hashem he's part of this world. B'chol mashal is running everything in the world. Hashem melech olam voed. Hashem is the king for eternity. Hachana toiva b'shemayim v'gama masa shefa kedosha enigma, right? Nigma banu amen. And this is a mitzvah Hashem. This is how it should be. So I thought this is such a beautiful idea, right? To take the malchus and use the idea of the melech, right? Use the idea to be a melech, to be the king over the other side, and to use the gevura. You have to use the power of the gevura in order to be successful. Is that amazing? It's an amazing concept, and we'll just finish. Let's just do it now. There's a lot of things, but we'll just go to Kinyan HaTorah. It was b'mishnah b'tahara. Right, the 48 the 48 kinyanim of Torah, right, the 48 ways to acquire Torah. So today is b'mishnah b'tahara. Study your Torah, do it b'tahara, right? Because again, the main thing is the Yetzer Hara comes in with impurity, right? So I think we're learning over here now. If you want to be the melech, if you want to be the king, so you have to be the king of purity. So if you study in pure, study when you're pure, right? Would you like that idea? Yeah. Study when you're pure. In other words, at least the chalapach is before you learn Torah, wash your hands, right? Wash your hands, remove, because the tumah is like we learned this oiches biyadayim, right? The tumah goes out by our hands. That's why in the morning we have to wash our hands, right? We wash our hands because the tumah from the night leaves our hands. That's why we wash the tumah off from the hands. So, okay, so that's what it is. Let's
the parsha of the week is Tazria, where it talks about purity.
Purity, exactly, right? Well, the parsha Tazria is unbelievable, right? It's unbelievable that the Rashi brings in from Rav Simloi that the same way when it came to Maseh Bereshis, right? That man was the last of all creations to teach the person. If he gets a little haughty, the Yitosh was kaidem, right? The little mosquito was created before you. So what do you think? But if he doesn't get this week also, the Torah was teaching us all about the karbanis and all of the different sacrifices and everything. And then after all of that, it says again, Tazria. Now, if you're going to be born, it follows suit. It's an amazing thing. But if you're not going to follow that, then that's what's going to happen. Then you're going to get the tzaras. Right? If you're not going to understand the lesson that you can't be haughty, that we have to be shuffle, we have to be anov, we have to be humble people. And if we're not, because if we're going to be humble people, we won't speak lashon hara. And where does the neged tzaras come? Because we spoke lashon hara. And again, why does someone speak lashon hara? Because they want to feel more important than the other guy. So if I speak about the other guy, I speak down on the other guy, I feel more important. So maybe that's an idea on the parsha why it came in this way and it follows suit from the right. Okay.
What does Tazria mean?
Give birth.
Give birth.
Yeah.
Like every day. Hashem.
Yeah, every day we're new. Every day we're new. Every day we're new. Okay, so let's go back now. We're in Likutey Halachos, Hilchos Tefilin. We're in Halacha Gimel, Baruch Hashem. We started, we're in the middle, but we'll just review a little bit. So the Rebbe said yesterday, where we left off, we're up to, we'll find. So the Rebbe said like this, he came up with this, he taught us this idea based on lesson 15 in Likutey Moran, that we have to judge ourselves. Why? Because again, if we judge ourselves, so then we're not judged in Shemayim, so it's much easier always to judge yourself, right, than to have the judgment by the judge and jury in Shemayim. We want to avoid that. Now, and if he does that, so we said, so then the person can gain, he'll be able to study Torah benigla. He'll be able to then study and see the beauty in Torah benigla if he clears his mind of all the sin. How did he do that? By, again, trying himself for the thing. So the suggestion that we made was that we can do is each day, we're supposed to set aside a time that we're going to have our isbaidus and take care of our business with these things. And then any other time during the day, you tell the Yetzer Hara the court's closed. right? Because that way it can be besimcha the rest of the day, right? So if I make up, let's say I'm going to speak to Hashem from at 8 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning, whatever it is, whatever time you choose. It's 4 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock. Okay, so we'll discuss it then. Any other time the answer comes to you with anything, you say, I'm sorry, 4 o'clock in the morning. Court's open. I'm sorry, court's closed now. You can't discuss it.
And he says, well, but I'm sleeping.
So too bad.
Too bad. Yeah, you missed your opportunity.
That's right. You snooze, you lose, right?
Yeah.
Right, okay, so then he said, 1 second. So then if you learn Torah B'nigla, so then you'll be able to daven. But you'll be able to daven in a way of Mesiras Nefesh. What does that mean? That you'll realize it's all about your neshama. You're not going to daven, let's say, L'tzorchei Haguf, right? Of course, we need whatever we need, but we'll realize that it's really all about our neshama because the neshama is eternal. Right, and then when you can daven this serious nefesh, then you'll be able to be zoichet to have Torah's anista. Then you'll get the Torah's anista, and then you'll be able to taste the aragonas, and that's where we're at. In other words, we talked about the aragonas last in days, right? Where was the aragonas? That light that fell down into the yisoid of Atzilus, right? And that's when we say aragonas, we're referring to the light. That light is the hidden away light for the tzaddikim. So we can experience that hidden light even today. Even now, if we learn how to do it, right? So that's where we're up to Vayidei. So we're up to Vayidei Zeh Zoichin L'Aragonos. V'zeh Bechinas Oires HaMakifim Shemegalen Ayidei Tefilin. And this is the R that's makif, the R that surrounds, right? The makif, that's makif through the tefillin. Shu Torah, which is Torah, okay? And how are you going to do that? Vayidei Zeh L'Tefillah. And you'll be able to daven, like we said, you daven b'mesiras nefesh, right? V'zeh shemispalin b'tefilin, and that's why we daven the Shmon Esrei with our tefillin. We make sure we daven the Shmon Esrei with our tefillin. Why? Because we're trying to be able to daven b'mesiras nefesh. We use the tefillin to connect ourselves again to that to the aragonas. So we're trying to bring that aragonas into our lives. That's why I wear my tefillin while I say the Shmon Esrei, because when I'm saying Shmon Esrei, where am I? I'm in Olam Atzilus, right? We go through the davening, right? We start in the beginning. We're in the Olam Asiyah during the brachas. When we get to what he called Hodu. When we start Hodu, then we move up to the Olam of Bria, right? No, Yitzira. You go to Yitzira.
Isn't it Bria first?
No, it's Atzilus, Bria, Yitzira.
Yeah. So okay, yeah.
Right, we're going up. No, when we're davening, we're going up. We're traveling upward, right? So we're starting out in Asiya. We go to Yitzira. Then by Baruch Yishtabach, we go to the next one. We go up to the Olam Bria, right? And then during Shmon Esrei, we're in the Olam Atzilus, and that's where the light is. So we wear my tefillin when I come to that place. Unbelievable, right? By days there, and through this, it says the Rebbe now, a person can taste that hidden light. He can taste the hidden light, which is what the pnimius are, the hidden light from HaKadosh Baruch Hu in Bria. That's okay. Through tefillin, through our hanachas tefillin, through us putting on our tefillin, we can reveal this light, the Or Hamakif, this light, this special light through the tefillin. Okay, these are the lights. Bechinas Torah Shebenisner, which is again learning Torah Shebenisner. Bechinas Aragonos, which is the hidden light. V'zeh bechinas Shin Shel Shleisha Roshin. So now we're back to the Shin on the tefillin with the 3 heads. V'Shin Shel Arba Roshin. And the Shin with the 4. So we said last time we learned about the Shin was the 3, which we said is the 3 Nekudos, right? We said that you have to have the Nekuda of Tzaddik, the conversation with the Tzaddik, conversation with a friend, right? Mindain L'dain, right? And then you have to also have a conversation with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Beinai Vein Koinai, right? That's what we said. That was the 3. And then the Tzaddik is also the 4. Why? Because we said that the Chachma Bina, right, the Chachma Bina breaks into Chesed and Gevura, right? Because the Chachma Bina, right, makes Das, but Das breaks into Chesed and Gevura of the Zera Anpin. So that was the 4. That the Tzaddik has that. So that was the 4 and the 3. Okay, now it's, that's the shin that we engrave onto the tefillin, right? We engrave the shin onto the tefillin. It's one piece of leather. You have to realize it's unbelievable, right? It's one piece of leather. That whole box, the whole shin, that the head piece is starting with one clump of leather, and they mold it and they make the different. It's fascinating how they do it, and they make the compartments, the 4 compartments, right? And then they have to etch off and scratch off the leather in order to leave the shin that it will be embossed, right? Is that embossed? No, it's not.
It's relief.
Relief. It's showing. It's sticking out. Embossed is when it goes in, right? Is it?
So yeah, like you emboss when you emboss.
Right. That's yeah. Like the gold stamping, that's embossing, right? Okay. All right, so that's okay, fine. So the shit that's okay. That's the light of the 7 days, because that's when Hashem put the light away during the creation of the 7 days. So again, here's another reference why you have 7, the 3, and the 4. The Aragonas of the 7 days, the Aragonas, and I want to connect to the Aragonas. Where does that start from? Judging myself correctly, judging myself in an honest way, and I become exonerated from my sin via myself, trying myself, finding myself guilty, and saying I'm sorry. Unbelievable. Not trying to pass the buck. It was this fault, that one's fault. No, I was wrong. I made a mistake. Hashem, I'm sorry. I help me, Hashem, that I don't do this again. That's tshuva. It's not that hard. Is it?
That's only hard because it goes on and on.
No, but of course, but really, that's what tshuva is. If you think it through, Hashem, I made a mistake, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, please, I don't want to be involved in this again. Please guide me, help me, that I don't fall to this thing again. I don't want to do this again, right? And then that's and again, you're relying on Hashem to help you for that, because you asked for the heaven assistance, right? Unbelievable, right? Wow. Okay. Okay, they are a Shivas Yam. Okay, Bechina Shiva Roshan, and that's why we have the 7 altogether. The 3 and the 4 is the 7 to give us this beautiful, beautiful idea. Any questions on that? Or any comments? Any questions or comments? No? Okay.
I just want to make sure I'm in the right place. I think I am.
Oh, okay. That's a good thing to say. Okay. So we're going to start now the Iker or Tefilin. In your Tefilin. Iker, I don't know how he has it on these PCIs. Session of Kiddush Kishurais. I don't know where. What was it? This is Halacha Hilchas Tefillin Daled?
Or so it's too far along. You have to be
No, but he's in Laws 3. I don't know how this thing works. I don't know how this Hilchas Tefillin 4. He should be in 3. Oh, it goes this way. Oh, it's in English. Oh, it goes the other way. Okay. Avanti. Kimas Chatzos. That's what we're going to be up to now. Here, here it is. Here.
So I was on the right page.
Yeah, you're right over here. We're gonna read right. We're gonna read right there. Okay. The ikar tefillin zeichen aidei kimas chatzos v'oiskin batayra. If you get up again at chatzos, tikkun chatzos, again that sets the mind in the right frame, puts us in the right frame of mind. When we get up at night and it's quiet, and again we spoke so much about that, we learned so much about this, and Rav Nosson is going to keep bringing it back because it's such an important thing to say tikkun chatzos. It's such an important thing to say the tikkun chatzos, and via saying the tikkun chatzos and then learning some Torah. and saying some Tehillim, his Baididus, whatever you can do at that time before davening. And that way you bring in the morning and you fill your mind with all these wonderful things early in the morning. So you so to say, give yourself an edge over the day to be able to be successful. All right? Then the chud of chesed will be upon the person during that day. He'll draw upon himself the chud of chesed, because again, when we get up and we show HaKadosh Baruch Hu that we care about the world, we care about HaKadosh Baruch Hu's world, we care about the Beis HaMikdash, we care about the situation where we're crying about the situation in Klal Yisrael. So of course HaKadosh Baruch Hu is so appreciative of us, and we did a chesed, so to say, with HaKadosh Baruch Hu by doing this. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu, of course, reciprocates and he sends us the chud of chesed. Then the person will be married to have the kedusha of tefillin. He'll have the kedusha of tefillin because again he worked so hard before he put on the tefillin to be connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Okay, then now he says, "Kimas chatzai zeh bechinas halos hayira." That's it's elevating our yira from the yira and the fula, right? We were talking about that yesterday also. We know some people we have sometimes we have these fallen fears, right? We're fearful of different things. Ellie, like the story you told me, right?
Yeah.
Like your story with that dog, right? I told the Chevy that yesterday. Was it okay that I did? No. It's an amazing. No, it's an amazing story because that's a year in the fula, right?
Yeah.
No, but that's what it is. And there's all the things in our life. It's really a year in the fula, and we have to know the real thing is Yiras Hashem. And that's what we have to focus on. But we said yesterday, really, you can only have the Yiras Hashem if you clear up your mind, and you always, because otherwise the person's scared to have Yiras Hashem. He's scared of Hashem if he has all his sin, right? But if the person can clear up all that sin, he can mamish have Yiras Hashem. All right, so that's Allah Sayira to raise up the fear. L'shor shayidei bechinas mishpat. How do you do that? Through mishpat. Again, judging oneself, because we said when we judge ourselves in this world, we don't have to be judged in the next world with the judge and jury. All right? Ki koydem chatzais oimrim vidoy al chatoyim, because before chatzais we say vidoy. We say vidui. We say we're sorry for what we did. Right? Really, what I think he's saying is when we say Kriya Shema Lamita and we say the vidui and we take it seriously and we make that din v'cheshbon during the day and we settle the account. So everything was settled. That's the best way a person can really go to sleep. Right? If the person makes it, he settles his day, and he knows he made that din v'cheshbon of the time, how he spent this time, did I do it in the right way or not, and makes rectification for the day. So then the person, of course, can have a clear mind, and he can go to sleep. His mind's not going to be racing. He settled the mind, right? So via the person doing that and doing mishpat first and saying the vidui, so then he can get up. He judges himself on anything that he did. And then I can cry over after I did that, then I could really cry over the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash. It's an amazing thing. You know, we have it in my apartment, Baruch Hashem, in Yerushalayim, and on the Marpes I have a view of Har HaBayis.
Oh, wow.
No, it's mamish. I used to say Tikkun Chatzos, and you see, mamish, it takes on a new dynamic.
Sure. Wow.
Mamish, it takes on a new dynamic when you see that stupid building standing on Har HaBayis. Unbelievable, mamish, unbelievable. Churban Beis HaMikdash. V'zeo bechinas Tikkun HaMishpat. That's Tikkun HaMishpat. That's Tikkun HaMishpat again. What's Tikkun HaMishpat? When I judge myself, it gives me such freedom to be able to do such important things and not to be scared to judge ourselves. That's the thing. People are scared. I don't want to talk about these things. No, when you talk about it to Hashem, Hashem knows it anyway.
Right.
Hashem knows it anyway. No one's telling you to make a recording and tell everybody about it. You do this between you and Hashem in a private room, and when you're walking in the street, wherever you are, you talk to Hashem. He knows anyway what you did. So make rectification, fix it. Fix it, because otherwise you're going to get judged anyway. So this is such a beautiful idea. That's such a beautiful, beautiful idea to me. This is very empowering. It's so empowering to know that we have the wherewithal within us, and we're supposed to just say we're sorry. And that's tikkun hamishpat. Then I'm not scared of all the years on the fullest, all those fallen years. I don't have to deal with that. I can absolve myself from that. Because the whole idea of the broken, the destruction, when the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed, was the Pegama Mishpat. How was that the Pegama Mishpat? Because they didn't do judgment the right way. They weren't judging in the right way. Because where was in the Lishkas Hagazis, right? In that part of the Beis Hamikdash, in the courtyard. Right, so you had over there the Anshe Knesset, the court of the High Assembly. The High Assembly would sit and they would make judgment. But if that court in that place doesn't judge the right way, that's the biggest pegam and mishpat possible. That's the biggest pegam and mishpat. That's the biggest blemish that they could be in mishpat, in judgment. Ukishenechrav. And then once the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed, Nemar, it says, Mekayim HaMishpat Shama HaResha. The Mekayim HaMishpat, the Mekayim HaMishpat, that place of judgment, Shama HaRosh. Wow, look at that. That's the place of wickedness. Mamish, we see it today. We see it today, Mamish, right? They took down a sign from Hamas the other day. Someone sent me a thing. Hamas had a sign hanging up over there, right? You want to talk about Russia, right? That's the Makam Mauritius, right? Hamas had a sign on the Temple Mount.
Yeah. What did it say?
Well, it said nice things, right? Right?
Yeah, like the entrance
You heard about that, right? Yeah. No, but it's unbelievable. Look, I'm always amazed how the current events always fall into our learning, right? Just the other day, that never happened before, that they put up a thing like that and they took it down. but maybe that's a good sign for us. Baruch Hashem, Mitzvah Hashem, that's a good sign that they were able to go in there and take that down. Unbelievable, right? Mishpat Shama, so that's where they were judging. That's where the riches goes. Oh, yeah. As Chazal say, because that comes from the Begam and Mishpat, so we could be Masakin, the Begam and Mishpat. Again, we could fix the wrongful judgment via judging ourselves correctly in the proper way. We can make the rectification for Mishpat. And that's why he's saying, I believe now, why he's connecting it to Churban Beis Hamikdash. Because why did the Beis Hamikdash, why was it destroyed? Because of the Begam and Mishpat. Because of the blemish in judgment from the court, the high court, the high assembly. There was a pagan, there was a blemish in the way they were judging. They weren't judging the right way. Whatever that was. Again, that's what Chazal tell us. Again, I'm not going to judge them. I'm only saying what Chazal teach and what Rav Nassim brought us over here. That there was a pagan, whatever that means on that level, because they were still good people, and they just did. Well, they say good people sometimes do bad things, right? Good people sometimes do bad things. Oh, good morning, Reb Ruven. Okay. Any questions so far? No? Okay. Because the Beis Hamikdash was inclusive of all of these aspects that we spoke about. That you get through mishpat, through judgment, through judging through judging in a proper way. Because the Beis Hamikdash was the place of fear. Right? When we came to the Beis Hamikdash and we saw the grandeur of the Beis Hamikdash, a person came upon him a pachad. He felt the Yiras Hashem. He saw the beauty. He understood who my place was, right? And he came upon him that feeling, wow, it's all you, Hashem. And that's the most beautiful feeling of Yiras Hashem. When you realize, oh, wow, I thought it was, I had some control of it, and I realize it's you, Hashem, it's only you. Bechinas Yerushalayim. Look what Yerushalayim is. Shum Meloshin Yira Sholem. Yerushalayim. Yira Sholem. Complete fear. Yira Sholem. Isn't that beautiful? You saw that before, right?
Yeah.
That's a famous thing. What? Yira Sholem, Yerushalayim, Yira Sholem. Complete fear, proper fear, the proper fear of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, not fear of everything else. And like we said, the Yiras on the Fulos, not that, but fearing of Hashem. Okay, V'gam hu bechinas das, and that's also the das of what? Das of Hashem, knowing it's all Hashem. Hashgacha pratis in the world. It's all Hashem is running everything. Chazal teach us, Hainu halos hayira. How do you raise up yira? To it. How do you do that? Through das. You need das. That what you have to know what to be fearful of. To know what to be fearful of. Right? You need the das to know that it's all Hashem. That's why we say, Chaynin Adas and Shmon Esrei. Hashem, give me the das that it's you, Hashem, in my day. Give me the das that every meeting that I have and everything I do during the day, it's only you. It's not anything else. It's only you, Hashem. And you're sending me these things to help me ultimately. You understand? Because Hashem sends us the different things each day because He wants to help us. That's all He's doing. He's not doing it to make us problems. He's doing it to help us. But when we have that das and we yira sholem, right? Again, we get up at chatzos, we say the tikkun chatzos, and then we get the chut shel chesed during the day. How do you get the chut shel chesed? Because again, I got up and I cared about the Beis Hamikdash. I cared about it. And then at that time, we said we did tikkun hamishpah because before I went to sleep, I made a din v'cheshbon, right? I did make a din v'cheshbon before I go to sleep. Did I do everything correctly or not? So then via making that judgment, that's how it gives me the opportunity to be able to get up at night, to be mis'avel al the churban Beis Hamikdash, to get the chut shel chesed during the day, right? It all starts with judging ourselves in the proper time, in the right way. Via doing that, it opens the doors to all good things. All good things that come from judging ourselves. All the doors are open for us because again, our mind is settled. We're not worried. Right? Otherwise, the Yetzer keeps bothering you. Hey, you did this wrong, you did that wrong. Hey, wait a second, I took care of that Yetzer. We discussed that yesterday, and that thing you're talking about, we did that yesterday. Now the court's closed. Leave me alone. You understand? You have a way to be able to find, like we were learning before about Malchus Shebekvura, right? You have to be the melech over the Yetzer. You can't let the Yetzer let him in a little bit, because if you let him in a little bit, then he's gonna overpower you. So you have to mamish be very, very steadfast and strong. Oh, he says here that in the Lishkas Hagazes, that was the place in the courtyard of the Beis Hamikdash that was called the Lishkas Hagazes. That's where the high court sat. To do mishpat down in this world. Again, when we do judgment down here in this world, we nullify the judgment up on high. That's very important to realize that. It's so important to realize that we can nullify the judgment on high via judging ourselves down here. Unbelievable. It's so amazing. It's so easy to say, but we have to think about it. What does that mean? And realize that means if I judge myself here in this world for the things I did wrong, for everything I did wrong, I have nothing to worry about because they can't bring me up on charges again in the next world. Chazal taught us that. Chazal taught us that. Is that amazing? I mean, we all know it, but we just have to be mechazet to do it.
No, we're learning it.
Huh?
I'm learning it. You know it.
Oh, okay. Well, you've heard it before. The importance of doing tshuva, right?
Yeah, but I'd never heard them say if you do tshuva here.
But wait one second. One second. Let's think about what you just said. Why would a person do tshuva?
Because he sinned.
Okay, but how do you know he sinned if he didn't work it out? You have to know what you're doing tshuva on, right?
Right.
Right? The person did this, right? You could say, I did this thing wrong, I did that thing wrong, I want to do tshuva because I just tried myself. And I found myself guilty. Now I know what I'm guilty of. Yeah, go ahead, Ellie, please.
It's fantastic because in America American law, you also have this concept of double jeopardy.
We spoke about it yesterday.
Yeah.
They can, right? Once you close the case,
Yeah, you can't be
where do you
charged
think
with
they
the
got
same
it from? We said that yesterday. Where do you think they got it from? They got it from the Torah.
Right, but what if I didn't know that I sinned?
Is that only in America? Is that all over? Is that here in Israel also?
Yeah.
In the
I don't know.
I don't.
in the secular court? No, I don't know. I have no idea. But in America, I know for certain that's the case. Right? They had the case with O.J. Simpson, right? Right?
Ended up in jail anyway.
All right, whatever, but not for that thing.
Right.
Not for they found something else on it. You can find something else, but not on that thing. But that's the way. But look at that. Look at
Just
it.
to show you, if Hashem wants you in jail, you're in jail.
Of course, no. But again, it also goes to show you if he would admit we can make tshuva on that other thing also, so we can also get exempt. The same way he got out of that one, we can get out of all of the things by doing tshuva.
So it's not a getting out. You're definitely not getting
But
out.
you're not getting it. You're finished. It's finished. It's finished. And then we said we don't want to get. We learned before that really I don't want to lose those things. I want them to turn into merits, because again, when a person does chas v'shalom, he doesn't have he spend time. Time is our most precious commodity that we have is our time. So why would I want it to just be erased? No. I want to keep it. I want to do tshuva me'ahava, where I'll take that iniquity and I'll turn it into a merit. Right? Amazing, right? No, do the tshuva me'ahava, not tshuva me'ira. If you do tshuva me'ahava, you wind up transforming the iniquity into a merit. So then you didn't waste your time. Now your time, it was utilized. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
It seems like there's two other things that are happening here.
Okay.
One is that if I don't know that I sinned and I don't do tshuva, I'm forgiven, or because
You're not forgiven.
what?
Why? If you don't know you did something wrong and you didn't do tshuva and you didn't try it, then
No. It's like what he said. Like I don't know what I don't know. So
You're done kishogeg.
You can't do tshuva if you don't know.
no, but I'm saying like let's say I didn't know you shouldn't turn off a light on Shabbat.
Okay, but you now you know it.
No, but I'm saying when I didn't know it. I'm saying
So that we didn't know that was a tinuk shenishba. That's that he didn't know.
what? Right.
Tinuk
so
shenishba
what-
means a child. He didn't learn. He doesn't know. So you can't. He's not held account. He's not held account. No, you're not. If a tinuk shenishba is not held accountable, he doesn't know.
Really?
No, a tinuk shenishba. It's not. Listen, he had no opportunity. Right? The person was born into a secular home, and they never had any surroundings with the. Oran was saying the other day when he went to school here, and when he went to school, he was born into a Chiloni family, and when he went to school, they said there's no God. They told him there's no God. It's all teva. It's all happenstance. It's not it. Here in Eretz Yisrael, right? So you take a fellow like that, and people like that. So how can you blame them? Well, how were these kids supposed to have any help? Right?
Yeah, it's not a matter of being forgiven. You're not judged. It's a
Right.
different standard.
Right. Okay. So now, it's like I'm wondering what is a sin. Like, and I'm going to give you an example. I know I should get the energy up, and I know I should go help my wife right now,
Okay.
and I don't.
But that's not a sin.
Wait a second. That's why I don't. That's why I'm asking. How do you know it's not a sin? I'm not doing something for my wife that I know
You should be doing. She would
that I should be
appreciate.
doing. She'd appreciate it,
Okay.
but I'm not doing it,
Okay.
and I know that I'm not doing it. I mean, it's like
But why are you not doing it? Are you doing something else?
I'm tired. I don't know. Don't feel like I have the energy.
Okay,
Lazy.
so
Lazy.
again, tired. What? That's again tikkun hamachshava. You have to fix the thoughts, right? And then
Right.
the medama.
Right.
The imagination. I'm imagining I'm tired.
Okay, what I'm asking is that
Yeah.
no one knows about it except me. Well,
Right.
and,
Hashem
and
knows,
Hashem
sure.
knows. Is that kind of thing a sin?
You need to figure it out.
No. I don't know if you're going to say that that's a sin. That was a missed opportunity. You had an opportunity to do something nice and to
and
help
I didn't.
somebody and do something nice. So you missed that opportunity. But did you do something else during that time?
No, I was being lazy.
Oh, so you're just doing nothing.
I'm doing nothing.
So then you have to make a rectification for your time that you wasted.
She
So that means you
asked you
squandered time.
So that's why.
So that's part of the din v'chesben you have to make at night. Okay, I did this
Okay.
at this hour at 9:06. to 9:16, I could have been doing this, and I didn't do that, and I was doing nothing. So I have to do tshuva on that.
That's why I'm asking. How do I know when I'm sinning?
Because okay, before you do anything, you say, is this what Hashem would Hashem want me to do this, or Hashem doesn't want me to do that? Would Hashem want me to do what I'm about to do now, or does Hashem not want me to do
You know,
this?
Mordechai, you got up at 4 in the morning, 4:30,
Yeah.
and so maybe you are a little tired, so just take a nap.
Okay, so we said today,
I could justify
but
it.
but today is Malchus Shebigvura. We said that today I can't give the Yitzhar a little edge, because if you let him in a little bit, he's going to take over. Right? That's what we learned this morning. Right? Then we started off with. Right? You have to stay strong.
So how do you know if you're really tired or not? I mean, if you really are.
But you know, right? In other words, other people bring in, I don't know if I should bring in Ishbitz when we're learning.
Yeah, you can. Bring it, of course.
It's an Indian of Bira.
Yes.
And there where you have to look at yourself, and you have to look at yourself, like hard, right? Not like cruel, but hard. You have to say, I have to be completely honest. I have to look at myself and say, could I have done this, or should I be doing this? And you gotta go through. And then what happens is you'll realize maybe I should have, or maybe I shouldn't have. And then you'll look at it again.
That's what it means with saying at night before you go to sleep, you make that din v'cheshbon for all the things, because you're not going to remember the next day.
I may not remember that night.
Okay, well, so then write it down. So then keep a log
Keep a
during the
journal.
day. Keep a journal. And then during that, before you go to sleep, read over the
I
journal.
think I need, because with my ADHD, I could just like, I did remember.
Oh,
I can send you actually. I had an email. Look, when you let me know, I can send you. I created a system of journals, right, where you can actually.
You made that, Ellie? You did? Yeah.
I wrote it. I wrote them out. I lost them years ago. I think I just have the monthlies, but you can shoot from that from the thing. You can create the dailies. It's easy to do.
Yeah, you make a daily journal. Keep a journal.
Really, because I want to do the right thing. I want to live in this, and then I feel like sometimes I'm kidding myself.
So
if I think I'm kidding myself, then maybe
that's what the Isbaitis is all about. Talk to Hashem. Hashem, help me not to fool myself. Help me, show me what I need to know. Guide me, Hashem.
Guide me.
Ask Hashem to help us. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Okay. But again, just to remember this whole idea, the whole idea of serving Hashem al pi Torah asher yerucha, through the Torah that guides us, the Kohanim, the Leviim, the Mishpatim, everything was happening, and through the Das we could be to have hasagas HaTorah, to give us really ideas and just really to help us to study Torah. That during the day when I have free time, learn a Dvar Halacha, take out the Tehillim, spend some time reading Tehillim. Don't just sit there and waste time, right? Study. Because again, you can use our eyes to see holy things. Because once we pass away, after 120, the eyes want to be able to, they can't see no more. The eyes are closed. So we have to use our eyes as much as when they're open to see more Torah, to do more things, because that's again, Rabbi Nachman said that in this world, you have to work very hard to read as much Torah as you can. He said, if you're studying Torah, you don't understand, just read it anyway. Just read it anyway. Read it one more time. If you don't understand it, go on. Why? He says, because you don't understand it doesn't mean your neshama doesn't understand it. Right? He says, because you don't understand. The Yetzer Hara is making you not understand it to make you think, I'm wasting my time. No, you don't understand that? Good. Okay, so read it one more time. Try again. If it's not working, don't worry. You read it, your neshama understood it. It's good. Just go on. Again, Hashem knows our intention, right? Why? He says, because the more Torah you see in this world is the Torah you have to study in the next world for eternity. So the person, he went to one of these modern yeshivas right there today, one of these yeshivas, right, and they studied, in his life, he studied a total of 50 blot, right, because each year they only do 4 or 5 blot, right, they do 5 blot, right, so this guy, he's going to come to the next world, he's only about to learn 50 blot, that's it, because that's what he learned in this world. I don't know it better, okay, sure, okay, good, okay, but he doesn't have the whole shas. It's a shame. It's a shame. So Rabbi Nachman says, learn through all the Shas. Read through it. Read through all the Shas. Read through Yerushalmi. Read through Tanakh. Read through Shulchan Aruch. Read through this. Why? Because then you'll have a lot of material to learn for eternity. You'll have a lot of material. If you don't have the material, then you can't study it. You only have permission to study in the next world what you studied in this world. If you studied it in this world, you could see it, you could study it in the next world.
Wow.
That's why the Yetzer Hara wants us to waste our time, right? Watch this movie, watch this, I gotta see this news thing, that news thing, this thing pops up, that, right? Because it's just to bauble our minds, is so to waste our time. That's all it's trying to really take out, you feel much better, I'm telling you. Go through it, read, if Gemara is hard for you, so read the Ein Yaakov, right? The stories, right? Everyone likes to read a story, right? Everyone likes the story. So take out the Ein Yaakov, read the Ein Yaakov. It's all the stories on the Gemara. Beautiful, right? Whatever you can do as much as you can do. Okay, and then again, the main thing is to judge ourselves properly. Via doing that, it allows us to have Torah Shebenigla. Just to review Halacha Gimel, we're finishing it now. So if you want to have, really what the biggest problem is, we have fears of different things. How do we exonerate, how do we fix the fallen fears? Via judging myself properly. Via judging myself properly allows me to what? To study Torah Shebenigla. I could study the revealed Torah, right? Torah, Tanakh, Gemara, right? Shulchan Aruch, right? And if I do that, if I'm studying the Torah, then it'll lend me the opportunity to daven, but to daven b'mesiras nefesh. To realize that it's all about my neshama. It's not about my guf. Of course, I have to daven for things that my guf needs also, but my main focus is on eternity. That's the main thing. And when I do that, then I can get Torah Shebenistar. Torah, which is the Aragonas. And that's why we wear the Tefilin, which in the Tefillin we said today has three shin and a 4 shin, because that's 7, that's from the Sheva Yemei Bereshis, right? Shivas Yemei Bereshis, when Hashem created the world, and He hit the light in that place of Atzilus. We wear the Tefillin during Shmona Esrei. Why? Because that's when we're in the world of Atzilus, and we have that connection to the light in the Olam Atzilus. It's only 10th. We're okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. Okay. So okay. And then we said that again. How do you do all of this before you go to sleep? Before you go to sleep, make that din v'cheshbon of the day. Go over the day. Make sure you settle all your doings of the day before you go to sleep. That'll be able to let you get up early in the morning to say the Tikkun Chatzos, to learn Torahs, Baidus in the morning early before you put on the Tefillin, and that's the program and that's the system. Okay, any questions? Eli, want to say something?
No, this is wonderful. Thank you so much.
I thank the Rebbe. I'm telling you, the Rebbe, it's unbelievable. Mamish, to understand what he's trying to tell us over here. How it's so important to really judge ourselves before we go to bed. If we do that, you see so much bracha in your life. I'm sure. I am absolutely sure a person will see tremendous siyata d'shmaya in their life via settling the accounts, because they're not going to be scared of all different things that other people are scared about. Okay, shkoyach everybody.
Yes, you can.
Okay.